Today I'm going to be presenting on my senior seminar final project. Before I start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Fuyuki Watanabe. I'm 18 years old and I'm a senior at International School Bangkok. I was born in Japan and lived there until the age of 10, and after that I moved to Thailand and lived here since then. And for my future, I'm still undecided and I'm still trying to figure out who I am and who I want to be. And throughout my life I've had a lot of learning experiences, and I used these four ways of knowing: reason, emotion, perception, and language, to evaluate my learning. And reason is, and the two that I'm going to focus on today are reason and emotion. However, in every learning experiences, I feel that all of the four ways of knowing are played a big role. For example, in science, you think that reason is the main ways of knowing. However, you can use intuition to guess something, or when you're observing, you use perception, and when you're reporting something, you have to use language. So overall, all of the ways of knowing are important, but the two I'm going to focus on are reason and emotion. And the areas of knowledge are the examples that I'm going to use to demonstrate my learning, and one being human science, which is a branch of science, and you study about humans. And the other area of knowledge is extracurricular activity, which is outside of class. So for psychology, I picked psychology because I'm interested in human behavior, and it studies why humans behave the way they do. And I took a psychology course last year, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And I enjoyed going to class, and I learned that it has a lot of practical applications, such as why people remember stuff, how they remember stuff, and what's the effect of sleep deprivation. And these kind of stuff are very applicable in everyday life, so it's very interesting for me. And you have to be very observant in psychology, and that's what I learned, to be observant. And throughout the course, I felt that reason was one of the main ways of knowing, because when I was conducting an experiment, I had to use inductive reasoning to generalize from a small sample. However, in using inductive reasoning, I had to use deductive reasoning first to make a premise. And there are some flaws in reason, because there's always the premises can be wrong in the beginning, so you have to be careful with that. And another flaw is the fallacies, such as special pleading, where you ignore some of the outliers in your result. So throughout this course, I learned to be very logical and careful scientist. And another area of knowledge I picked was extracurricular activity, and I picked soccer. And I picked soccer because I've been playing soccer for my entire life, and it became one of my hobbies. And it's something I love to do, and I love to watch. And it's also one of my exercises that I get, and I like to keep myself fit. And I felt that emotion was the most prevalent ways of knowing, because when I was playing soccer, I was very motivated to play, and the reason I was motivated was because I felt happy, which is one of the primary emotions, and I also felt ambitious, and every time I achieved something, I felt proud about myself. And I also like to socialize through soccer. So through playing soccer, I learned that I'm very passionate and energetic athlete who's full of energy. So, in conclusion, I would say that in class I'm very rational and very careful person, but in contrast, outside of class I'm very opposite, and I'm sometimes irrational and full of energy, and I don't think about what I do before I do stuff. So for my future, I would say that I have to balance these two qualities and mix them. And so, for example, in class, I would say I have to be more motivated to do the study and at the same time be rational. And outside of class, I will keep my motivation and energy, but I will be more rational before I play soccer and stuff.